As a terrifying crime boss, no one dared to challenge his authority until I showed up and broke all the rules. During a violent incident, I, as a medical worker, arrived at the scene to treat the injured. I saw a young man bleeding, and from his tattoos, I could tell he was a member of an organization. Based on his injuries, I planned to send him to the hospital for treatment. But then, an SUV appeared in front of us. 4 men got out and knocked the police officers to the ground before they took me, along with the injured man, to the organization's hideout in Heaven Valley. Along the way, I followed their orders to treat the man while secretly trying to find a way to escape. So, when the crime boss gathered to check on his injured brother, he was met with a shocking scene. His brother was unconscious, lying on a pool table, while I had a gun pointed at his men. "Let me go, and no one gets hurt," I said firmly. Despite being surrounded by 5 armed men, I wasn't scared at all. I hadn't even noticed him standing behind me. One of his men stepped forward, and Zeldrick immediately realized it was a mistake. I fired at him, hitting his hand. As his gun dropped to the floor, a painful scream filled the room. 2 more gunshots followed. One bullet struck another man in the shoulder, while the final bullet embedded itself in another's thigh. His men, Oscar and Gambo, stared at me in shock. The latter started to move, and Zeldrick had no choice but to intervene before I could kill him. "Put down the gun," Zeldrick said. In the blink of an eye, I turned around, pointing the gun at his head. But he was captivated by my beauty. Zeldrick's eyes locked onto mine, my amber-colored eyes meeting his. My chestnut hair was pulled up high, and my face, these features should have been illegal. I looked like an angel, skin pale and smooth, soft rose-colored lips that made you want to kiss them. "I'm being very nice," Zeldrick mumbled. "Don't make me use force. Before you take a step, I'll kill you," I said without blinking. Zeldrick glanced at my shoulder. Gambo and Oscar's guns were aimed at me. "That's possible, but either way, you won't leave here alive." He waited a few seconds, and when I shrugged and smiled, his jaw almost dropped. Why wasn't I trembling in fear? Anyone else would have been scared out of their mind, but this woman was looking at him with defiance, as if he was just a small problem that could be dealt with a raise of a hand. "I can choose to die alone, or I can take out a lawbreaker. It's not a hard choice," I replied. Zeldrick knew I was ready to pull the trigger at any moment. "Fine, you win." Zeldrick slowly raised his hands, glancing at my shoulder. "Guys, put down the guns. Let's all calm down and find a solution without bloodshed." Oscar and Gambo hesitated for a few seconds but ultimately followed his orders. Then, Zeldrick turned his attention back to me. "You're not fooling me. As soon as I lower my weapon, your people will shoot me from behind." "They won't, I promise you," I said. "A lawbreaker's promise doesn't mean much," I retorted. "But my promise does," Zeldrick said firmly. "He always kept his word. Put the gun down, and no one will lay a finger on you." I stared at him intently, and he had to take a deep breath to steady himself. There was no fear in my eyes. A few seconds later, I finally lowered my hands, releasing the gun until it hit the floor with a dull thud. Ramiro screamed, his injured hand trembling. Zeldrick saw him walk toward me, preparing to strike me, and he didn't hesitate for a second. He pulled out a gun from his belt and shot Ramiro in the head. He had made a promise. If Ramiro didn't follow orders, he didn't want him in his crew. "No one will hurt you. What's your name?" I took a deep breath and raised my chin in defiance. Zeldrick's eyes moved to my slender, delicate neck, and he couldn't help but imagine sinking his teeth into it. "Jenkins," I answered. Zeldrick moved closer to me, inches away from my face. He tilted his head slightly, studying me with a mischievous grin. "Who are you, Jenkins?" he whispered. I raised my chin even higher, my back straighter. "I'm the friend who saved your life and now hopes she can get her own life back. I don't want to have conflicts with you, and I don't want to have conflicts with the police. I'll go home and keep quiet about what happened here." He took a deep breath and smiled even brighter. In his mind, he was thinking, "I want this woman, no matter who she is. I'll make her mine." I think I should